It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Well, good morning to you. It is Friday. The week is wrapping up. We've made it to the weekend.
Yay!
It feels pretty good, doesn't it?
It always feels good when we get this far in the week.
And we're going to give Diana some time off after this because Sarah is coming back, and Diana will no longer have to endure the podcast with me. It'll be
Getting
Sarah's
up this
job.
early. It's been hard.
Thanks for doing it, Diana.
You're welcome.
Let's do a little news here and get you onto your weekend.
Okay.
Liberty Utilities is being investigated by the Missouri Public Service Commission, specifically its practices when it comes to customer service and billing. That's what they're looking at. Mm-hmm. That comes after complaints from customers regarding those issues. So progress reports on that investigation are supposed to happen every 3 months. So we'll see what comes out of that.
I wonder how the customer service part is going. I mean, billing, you can understand if there's billing issues, but the customer service, I feel like could be any business.
Right. Is any customer happy with anything?
I mean, I
rarely.
Or like the staff that you have, the frontline staff, sometimes they just answer like, hello, instead of hello. Right. How are you today?
I forget they're answering.
Like, why
their
are you
work
being
phone.
hateful? Anyways, good luck. Good luck, folks.
Because of the last person I talked to. That's why.
Right.
Because they hear a lot. All right, moving on. If you've driven by Missouri State University's campus this week, you may have noticed demolition taking place there. The university is tearing down the art annex on Grant because a new performing arts complex is going in there, which is cool. It will include a theater, dance studios, and a lot more. Donations totaling more than $17 million are helping to pay for that, and it should be open by summer of next year. So we'll get to watch that progress as it takes place. Speaking of progress, this is the part before the progress that makes it a little unpleasant. But starting Tuesday, intersection of Galloway and Luster will be closed while work continues on a project to widen Galloway. So a lot of people down in that area, they know what I'm talking about. They've already made plans. They know where they're going to go because that closure is going to last about 2 months. That's a long time. Yeah.
It's a lot of time to use the back roads.
It is when everybody else is also using the back roads.
Right.
That closure is going to last 2 months while a roundabout is put in there at Galloway and Luster. So
we sure love our roundabouts.
I've become, I was a skeptic of roundabouts, but I become a believer in roundabouts. There was one that was put in close to where we are. And I was like the cranky old man when it was happening. I was like, oh, this is going to be, I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know why they're doing that. I'm never going to get out of here now. And you can hear me doing it.
I can actually. I just did.
You just did. It sounds very similar to that. A little crankier, probably.
Yeah.
But the roundabout went in, and I'm a big fan. It actually sped up my life.
That's great.
How
do you feel about
now? People don't know how to use it, and that gets on my nerves. But they're learning.
Of course. How do you feel about diverging diamonds? The ones that you go zigzag a little bit over the highway typically is where those are at.
I don't find them to be faster for anything, but
than just going straight through.
I don't know. I don't think that that's why they were put in. I think they were put in to cut down on T-bone crashes with people turning in front of people going fast straight. I think that's why they were put in, but it hasn't sped up my life at all.
But I think they're also put in, and I had to think through this. I think they're also put in because if you're coming off the highway and you're turning left, you can just go. Like, you don't have to wait for that turn signal. Like if I'm traveling, this is like almost a math.
No, they don't let you turn left. No, most of them have, it says you cannot turn left after you stop on red, even though it's one way. Because I was doing that at one particular place, and then they ended up putting in a sign that says no left on red.
Oh.
So check the one you're talking about.
Okay. Well, you can turn right on red. I do got that going for me.
Do that. But you can also, in most cases, if it's one way to one way, you can turn left on red. But they put up signs that stop it. at a lot of these diverging diamonds.
Oh,
My thing
okay.
about diverging diamonds is that if you don't know it's there, it is very confusing.
That's true. And it's
If
also confusing teaching teenage drivers. Like,
yeah,
go, go, go. Okay, stop, stop, stop. Stay on your side. Stay on your side. Stay in your lane. Because it
right.
like from 2 lanes to 3 lanes to that lane turns. Yeah, there's
But once you know it's there, it's easy. But if they go to a different town and they suddenly come up on a diverging diamond and there's not a car right in front of them going where you're supposed to go, I
yeah.
can imagine where it'd be like freeze for a second. What am I supposed to do here?
Right, right.
All right.
Well, now you know how we feel about roundabouts and diverging
Yeah,
diamonds.
that's right.
All on to this. Springfield is getting a grant of $150,000. The money is going to go help pay to train up workers in the education, construction, and healthcare fields. It comes from the Missouri Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development, which is working to bolster those industries, especially by bringing in some new people. The mayor says the money will provide career paths for at least 50 people, and that will lead to employment in our region. There you go.
That's good.
And some Missouri school districts are also getting grant money. They will share $200,000 to use as they teach young people in vocational and technical subjects. Lockwood and Golden City districts will each get $50,000, and Carthage will get almost that much. Greenfield, Lamar, and Webb City will get the remaining amount. And the grant money comes from the Schilling Community Fund.
It's the Schilling family and quite generous.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, onto this. I know we talked about it, or we hadn't talked about it, but we kind of talked about the Chiefs. So here's another Chiefs thing. Decision has been made. Travis Kelce will play for the Chiefs again next year.
Yeah.
Whew. We were all a little concerned about this. There were questions swirling around, and the 10-time Pro Bowler after the Chiefs Super Bowl embarrassment. He posted on social media that the show goes on. Well, he's going to talk about that decision with his brother on their podcast next week. So leave you hanging a little bit.
So there's the tease. It's not a giant tease because we already know the end result.
Right.
But if you want to hear him talk about it and what went into the decision, you'll have to tune into the podcast, which, hey, it's not the worst idea. We like people tuning into podcasts.
Well, do you think Taylor had a little influence? Maybe. Taylor's Swiftie?
Yeah, probably. Although I could see the influence going either way. Like she could be, her influence could be, well, if you were retired, you could come on the road with me.
Right.
And then he's like,
Or she's like, I really like cheering for you. Yay.
Right. Maybe
Yay.
so.
I like red on me. Red looks good on me.
That sounds like Tay-Tay.
Yeah,
she would
not
say.
At all. But
so I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know. But I did see that he said that if in order to come back, I would have to be all in because I don't want to come in and just collect a paycheck. And I mean, obviously, that's what you say, right? Everybody says that.
Well, when you're making millions,
so we'll see. I hope that I think if they had won the Super Bowl, he may hang them up because winning 3. But it was not a good Super Bowl.
No, the job's not done
for him, for Patrick, for any of them. I mean, it was there. I don't know that there was one highlight in the whole game. So he's got a little redeeming to do. Yeah, and we'll see if he can do it.
Okay, stay tuned.
Hope so. Yeah. Speaking of redeeming, it was not a good year for Missouri State University basketball. They've got some redeeming to do next year. Of course, they welcomed back former coach Conzo Martin. He was optimistic about the season, but here toward the end of the season, they are wrapping up the year with a record of 9 wins and 21 losses. And that is before Sunday's trip to Drake, who is good.
Oh,
so it's gonna be
like a lot more losses.
And you know what happens when there's poor play? The fans just don't have the stomach to sit through it. They can't do it.
Yeah.
So they didn't show up at games, and they had in fact, lower than ever, lowest attendance in the history of the basketball team. Obviously, not counting COVID year. So the history of Bears basketball, their lowest attended. That is not a good situation. So they got a lot of work to do over at Missouri State. The NIL is in play, so maybe they'd have to have some businesses that went in to try to pay some kids to come the way that it's set up now.
Wow.
I don't know. Average attendance for this year was fewer than 2,100 people. Yeah.
Ouch.
So they'll try to turn it around, starting with the conference playoff on March 6th in St. Louis, and maybe put some magic together and end the year on a high note by getting to the championship of the conference tournament, which would be tough, but it'd be cool. Go Bears.
Go Bears. They really need it.
Yeah, they do.
Buy one, get one ticket. I'm sure maybe they can have some additional promotions or
Put
something.
some butts in the seats.
Well, I mean, I'm not opposed to, like, I don't think you should pay people to come, but there's a lot of incentives you can do in marketing to get people to show up.
Start with students,
Yeah.
Students there should be showing up.
That's the low-hanging fruit.
They show up for free stuff. So, yeah,
That's true. Or like, hey, it's college night. Ticket's only $1 and you get a beer for free. There you go. There you go, Missouri
problematic.
State.
That could be problematic.
It could be problematic, but it would fill the seats. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, this weekend is NICSA's big city wide garage sale. So garage sales happening. It's going to be tomorrow indoors at the X Center in NICSA from 7 to 2:30, 7 a.m. to 2:30 in the afternoon. It's free to attend and you're on your own to find the gyms and to make a deal. So I'm sure you garage sailors are going to be there.
Yeah, well, they'll be there early. They get there early, those garage sailors. They know how to get the best stuff first.
I'm never doing a garage sale ever again. I hate them.
Gun shy? Had a bad experience?
I don't like them one bit. Yeah. No,
I don't like them either.
It is like you mark your stuff down so cheap and then people come by and they want it for $0.25. I'm like, I'm not doing change, folks. It's $1 or it's free. Like, and they're like, I'll give you $0.25. I'm like, just take it. Just take it. In fact, I don't think I talked about this yet, but this is so embarrassing. The one garage sale, I've done 2 garage sales in my life. The most recent garage sale I'll never do again. I had a ton of stuff. You put hours of work into it.
Right.
And my son decided, okay, the younger one, he's like, I'm going to make some cookies. I'll sell some cookies and lemonade. He literally made more money selling cookies and lemonade than I did with the whole garage sale.
And you bought the cookies and lemonade, probably.
I did. Some dude, actually, this was really cool. I think he owned a lawn care business, but he stopped by and he gave him like $20. So I think that did influence the profitability.
Charity. That's charity. Anyways. That kid didn't earn that $20.
Anyways.
Did you see there's a commercial out with Will Ferrell.
What?
It's pretty funny.
What?
And he's talking about using Venmo or one of those to pay Zelle or something to pay people directly. So he paid the kid, and he said something about this shady lemonade stand, and the kid goes, "Hey," and Will goes, "Oh, like this is fresh squeezed. Come on, Logan," and he walked off.
But it's entrepreneurship, and I think that's why the guy gave him, my son a $20 bill, and he didn't obviously buy $20 worth of cookies or lemonade, but
yeah, right.
he appreciated the kid sitting out there and hustling to try to make $1 or 20. So, anyways, I hope you get your deals this weekend at the garage sale, and if you're doing that, I have so much respect.
I have a quick garage sale story.
Oh, tell us, please.
I hate to even repeat it, but this was years ago when we had garage sales, which we don't anymore. And you have all your crap sitting outside. And it's very early in the day. And, I'm out there. I've got a good attitude. I'm going to sell, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Get rid of this junk. And a car pulls up, slows down. A lady in the passenger seat grabs a pair of binoculars, turns, looks my direction, scans,
nothing,
puts them down,
nothing.
And they drive right off.
She didn't even stop?
No, that's why the binoculars are there. She had the binoculars to figure out. She saved herself some time, right? Because she didn't need any of my crap.
I would have thought that she would have maybe recognized like you being a local celebrity and like wanting your autograph or something.
Yeah, that made it much worse. because I was standing there. Yeah. She not only didn't care about my junk, but she didn't even know who I was.
That's a dig to the old
it
ego.
was. It was. That's why I hate to retell that stupid story. It hurts my heart.
And I just laugh.
But it is a pretty funny
story. It is funny. That is really funny.
Yeah.
All right. Now you know why we don't do garage sales.
That ended my garage sale days.
Oh, my word. Okay. Well, I didn't
want her dumb money anyway.
Oh my goodness. There is also the amazing tomorrow is the KY3 annual women's show. You'll want to check that out. That's going on at the fairgrounds from 8 to 4 tomorrow. Parking's free. Admission is $5 to get in. There's a lot of really fun stuff if you're a lady and you want to check out the cooking demonstrations and see makeup and hair and other vendors. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff out there. So check it out.
Okay.
We're way over on time with our stories, but this was not around the Ozarks.
I got to get that stuff off my chest.
I think that's hilarious.
Well, hey, have a great, thank you for filling in for Sarah.
You're welcome.
She thanks you as well. The viewers thank you and listeners. It's much more fun to have you here than me doing it by myself. So thank you for that.
No
Sarah
problem.
will be back with me on Monday, and we'll hear about her Africa trip a little bit. And we'll do some news. So have a great weekend, everybody.
Yeah, bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. We are waking up on this glorious Friday with temperatures in the upper 30s this morning, and we are going to warm quickly. A combination of things going to help us warm up today. Number one, we have pretty dry air in place, and when that happens, you can heat it up and cool it down really quickly. That's what's going to happen today. So I've got high temperatures forecasted to make it to 71 in Springfield. The trade-off is going to be that it comes with very windy conditions as well. So if you are going to be outside enjoying the 70s, just keep in mind that the wind may be something to contend with today. Windy today all across the Ozarks, but we've got sunshine in the forecast. I have nothing but sunshine in the forecast all day today. Windy weather, though, and high temperatures in the low 70s. That's the right way to end a Friday, isn't it? We have winds gusting to 35 or even 40 miles an hour, though. So this could be strong enough to be disruptive, definitely adding to kind of the wind chill factor out this morning, especially. But in the sun later, if you don't mind the breeze, it should feel pretty good. We will see wind gusts close to 40 miles an hour for the Springfield area. Much of the area on the plateau going to see some higher gusts, but even 25 to 30 mile an hour up at Osage Beach. And that's going to be the same down for our friends in Harrison and Branson as well. Now, with this dry air and the windy conditions, we have to at least mention the threat for some fire weather danger in the Ozarks today. Significant fire weather conditions. So it's not the day to burn any burn piles. If you've been waiting to make that happen, choose a different day. It's not going to be a good one for that today. Outside burning discouraged, except by, of course, experienced fire professionals. So avoid activities that cause open flames or sparks. Properly discard of cigarettes. Avoid parking on dry grass, and check trailers and chains for any dragging that may occur, because that can spark a fire and then it gets out of control very quickly. We'll want to help our first responders out today by just not doing any of that. Cooler this weekend, but still it's going to be nice. I have high temperatures in the 50s, both Saturday and Sunday. It will be cooler, yes, but jacket weather, and I think both days we can get out and enjoy, at least during the daylight hours. Full sunshine in the forecast for us on Saturday, mostly sunny and seasonable weather for us then. We've also got temperatures near 60 degrees on Sunday. It will be partly cloudy with rain chances moving in late Sunday evening. Looks like just some showers for us on Sunday evening, but I've got another chance for showers and maybe some thunderstorms in the forecast by Tuesday, with maybe the chance for severe weather. That's the next system that I'm watching that should arrive early next week. In fact, already parts of the National Weather Service kind of outlining areas from Texas back through portions of northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, down into Mississippi and Alabama with this threat for severe weather. Severe weather potential will be south of the area in those states that I just mentioned. However, it'll be possible in the Ozarks and southeastern Kansas on Tuesday. So just kind of stay tuned. If you know of anything that you have going on next week on Tuesday, early March, you'll want to just pay close attention to this forecast because we could have some severe thunderstorms that do break out on that day. Then it's going to be just pretty much mild in the forecast. Temperatures, highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s. That's pretty common for this time of the year. Around the country, there's a lot making headlines as we head into the weekend. Very active start to the weekend for our friends up in the Northeast. Tonight into Saturday, they are expecting another round of moderate to heavy snowfall. There's also an elevated risk of fire weather for parts of the northern and central plains. That does not exclude us here in the Ozarks. Of course, we've got that high fire danger today. And then I think a lot of folks are going to be watching that potential for severe weather that I just mentioned for early next week, the Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe, with the potential for some severe storms and some tornadic activity. TBD on that. I'll be watching that through the weekend and have an update for you on Monday morning on the severe weather chances for Tuesday. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. And the question that I left you with yesterday was true or false. Whiteout conditions can make you feel sick. Do you think that is true or false? Well, it might not seem like it, but it's actually true. And this is particularly true if you are susceptible to motion sickness. The lack of a visual reference point in a whiteout can confuse your brain's sense of orientation, leading to symptoms like dizziness, nausea, and headaches, almost like motion sickness or ski sickness that some folks do experience while skiing. So whiteout conditions cause this like sensory mismatch. Basically, your eyes aren't receiving clear information about your surroundings, and that conflicts with the signals from your inner ear, which can cause discomfort, motion sickness, dizziness, and all of those things. So I don't think whiteout conditions are a concern for us here in the Ozarks, thankfully, in our forecast. However, if you're ever in one of these situations, it's important to find shelter. Close your eyes, get to a protected area if you can to rest and regain your bearings. Of course, try and stay calm and limit your movement. Just try and sit still, get to a place where you can't see the windows. Hopefully you're not in a car if you are susceptible to that. All right, here's the quiz question that I'll leave you with and have the answer for on Monday morning. What tool measures atmospheric pressure? No Googling on this one, okay? All right, here are the options. A, thermometer. B, barometer. C, hygrometer, or D, anemometer. Do you remember this one? What tool measures atmospheric pressure? You can let me know your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend, and I hope that the wind dies down for us enough this afternoon to just feel the 70s again. That'll be fantastic. I hope you all have a great weekend, and thanks for listening this morning. Also, thanks to our sponsors, Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet, Command Family Medicine, and John's Heating and Air. I'll be back to chat with you first thing on Monday. Have a good one.